Why aren't you excited? You're playing the ultimate game of life. You, right now, have the most incredible opportunity in existence. You're playing the game of life, the most complex, awe-inspiring, and wild game there is. Yet too many of us wake up feeling like we've already lost, like the game is rigged against us. But what if I told you that winning this game is simple? You just have to love playing it. That's the secret. The people who win the game of life, they're not the ones who have everything figured out, or those who never fail. No, they're the ones who love the game itself. They wake up every morning pumped, excited, ready to take whatever comes their way. They know that every twist, every challenge, every risk is part of the fun. They play the game because they love the game, and that's why they win. The divine game of life. Life, my friend, is a game. But it's not just any game. It's a divine game. The game itself is the very fabric of existence, woven into every moment you experience. You might not realize it now, but the fact that you're here, experiencing this moment, is the greatest gift you've been given. Why? Because life is the way the universe, the source, knows itself. At its core, life is how source, or the unmanifested, learns. The source, the all-potential, doesn't exist in time. It's eternal. It exists in the eternal now, where every possibility, every reality exists simultaneously. Parallel realities unfold at once, and yet, from our perspective, it's impossible to see this. You might be wondering, if everything is source, if everything is one, why don't we feel it? Why can't we see it? Why do we struggle? Why is life sometimes so hard? The answer is simple. Consciousness, source, limits itself. It blinds itself so it can experience. Imagine knowing everything, being everyone, being every possibility all at once. You wouldn't experience anything. You would just know. Take a simple example. If you were everyone at the same time, the one who hurts and the one who is hurt, how could you possibly experience anything as separate from yourself? That's why the source, or consciousness, chooses to limit itself in our human form. It puts on blinders and forgets its infinite nature so it can play the game of life. The play and the players, and that's where you come in. You are source, manifesting in this game to experience, to grow, to play. You weren't really born, and you'll never really die. You are eternal. You are an expression of source, which means you are playing this divine game right now, but you've forgotten. And that's part of the fun. You're here to play the game as if it's real, as if it matters. Here's where people make their biggest mistake. They start hating the game. They cling to the past, thinking it defines them. They choose to be victims, blaming their circumstances, their failures, their past mistakes. They believe the game is happening to them, not for them. And that's how they lose. They stop playing. They stop taking risks. But the truth is, you can choose every single day to fall in love with the game, to embrace it. The ones who win aren't necessarily the ones with the most talent, the most money, or the most knowledge. They're the ones who wake up excited to play, to roll the dice and see what comes next. Because they know that no matter what happens, it's all part of the game. The joy, the pain, the triumphs, and the failures. They're all here to teach you something. To win this game, you have to take risks. You have to roll the dice. Because if you don't, you lose the chance. Every day is a new opportunity to play, to experience, to learn, to grow. Every time you take a risk, you give yourself a chance to win. The realization that changes everything. Here's the real kicker. The goal isn't to win the game in the way you've been taught. The goal isn't to reach a destination, to achieve some perfect outcome, or to become something greater. The goal is the game itself. The joy is in playing it. Once you realize this, something shifts. You stop being attached to the outcomes. You stop identifying yourself with your past, with your failures, or even your successes. Because deep down, you realize that everything is one. You are not separate from the game, from the people around you, from the universe itself. The one who plays and the one being played, it's all the same. Non-duality and the game. This is the essence of non-duality, the understanding that everything is one, everything is the source. The separation we feel, the highs and lows, the good and bad, that's all part of the illusion. But it's a necessary illusion, so we can play the game. And when you understand this, the game becomes joyful. You stop clinging to results. You stop fearing failure, because you realize that there's nothing to lose. You are eternal, and the game is eternal. And that's when the game really begins. That's when you start playing for the love of the game, not for the outcome. And ironically, it's when you let go of your attachment to outcomes that you start reaching your goals effortlessly. Because you're no longer playing with fear. You're playing with joy. Conclusion: love the game and win the game. So, why aren't you excited? You get to play this game. Every day, you get to wake up and decide how you want to play. Will you cling to the past? Will you let fear and doubt hold you back? Or will you embrace the unknown, roll the dice, and love every minute of it? The choice is yours. The ones who win the game, they don't play for the outcome. They play because they love the game. And when you love the game, you've already won.